Hello, hello. I am going to wait for a few people to log on and then I'll do some introductions. Hi, Andeli, welcome. I'm so excited for today.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm so glad this worked.
Yes. Let me
I
just
was a
see if
bit
I can.
nervous because of last week's experience.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Because I'm like trying to accommodate here.
Oh, fix yourself, get comfy.
Oh,
Let's wait
yes.
until we get a few more viewers and then we can do some introductions.
Sure.
How are the kids? Are they home?
Girl, we were playing outside the whole afternoon. Good weather.
I know. It's so beautiful out. It's amazing.
It really is. I'm like,
Perfect weather.
spring,
My boys were
finally.
like, yes.
How are the
Hopefully we don't
boys?
get any more snow.
It's New England. It was snowing last night. How are the
What?
boys? Yeah, what?
Yeah, I missed it. I went to sleep early yesterday though. My boys are good. I let them go for a bike ride with some friends today around the neighborhood, so they were excited for the spring.
Yeah.
Hopefully no big snowstorms. I mean, we had one in April once, so hopefully
Mm-hmm.
none. All right. How
Well,
many viewers?
girl,
Let's
I'm at that
see.
stage where I'm like nervous. I'm like, do I let him go by himself? The older one? I'm like, do I let him go by himself? I don't know if I trust you yet.
I hear
I
you.
got
How
trust
old is he?
issues. He's 10.
He's 10. Yeah. I still don't let my 11-year-old go out on his own. Like his brother needs to be with him. Or if it's a group of boys, like if it's a few boys and I know them all and I'm fine with that, but I get nervous with my little one. My oldest, he's on his own a little bit more, but he's 13.
Yeah, it's and I was talking about it with my husband. I was like, yo, back in the day, they used to let us go to the bodegas at like 9.
Remember growing up? Like at 7, we were walking to the store by ourselves.
And now I'm like, oh no, you're not going nowhere.
Yep,
You're not going to
same.
no bodega, nothing.
Same. Yeah. I'm just like so nervous. Like, what if something happens to my baby?
I have trust issues. I swear to God.
I hear you. I hear you. I think it's the same for many mamas.
Well,
So
you know what
let's,
it is? It's the times too. Like, you know, so many pedophiles and crazy people out there. So you're just like, I don't know.
it was bad though. Back in the days growing up for us, it was
It
bad.
was, but it
Like,
wasn't as known as now.
right. I don't know. We have to let go at some point, right? Like we have
I
to.
don't know when. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Not for now.
I know. Maybe when your oldest is a teenager, you'll be like, okay, well, more responsibility now. That's what I did with my oldest. When he turned 13, I was like, okay, I guess we can trust you to go out on your own. And
Oh
it's
my
really
God.
local. Like, and he has to
Yeah.
be with friends. There's rules around it. So all right. So it's 7:05. I don't wanna keep you long. Maybe we'll get started, and whoever jumps on a little bit later can watch the recording. So we'll post it afterwards. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jen Santiago, and I'm here with Aldeli. Thank you for joining. Aldeli's a mom of 2, and we are going to be talking about living with a disability and parenting your own children while living with a disability. So I'm really appreciative of Aldeli joining me so
Thank
that
you.
we can have this conversation. I'm the creator of Motherhood Hacks and One Gen Wednesdays. I don't I'm not an expert in parenting, so I don't expect to, don't expect me to answer everything, but I'm hoping that with what I've started, I'm able to bring light to a lot of topics that maybe a lot of moms have questions on and are afraid to ask. So what we're here for, Aldelis, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having, and I'm so excited for your venture. And honestly, I feel like mothers need to like voice it up and talk more because nobody's an expert in this. I read a meme saying that like we're still growing up while we're trying to, teach our children how to grow up.
Absolutely.
So nobody's an expert in this.
Absolutely. And you're a mom of two.
I'm a mom of two boys, a 5-year-old kindergartner who's doing remote learning.
Wow.
Yeah, and a 10-year-old.
A handful, a 5 and a 10-year-old. And you were recently diagnosed with NMO in the recent years.
Yeah, so in 2016, I was diagnosed with neuromyelitis optica. But within the years prior to that, I already was having symptoms and things were already happening to me. It was just getting like the real diagnosis, actually diagnosed. And I even had it while I had my second pregnancy and I didn't know.
Wow. So it's been about 5 years since you
The
started.
actual diagnosis. But I think it's been around for almost like 7 or 8.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you had no idea up until the recent years that.
No.
Okay.
So
And can you,
so neuromyelitis optica is basically a demyelinating disease. It was thought to be like multiple sclerosis, until like, recent like not recent years, but recent science years discovered the difference between NMO and multiple sclerosis. And so basically the symptoms are almost the same as somebody who has multiple sclerosis. It's just that neuromyelitis optica affects more of your eye, optic neuritis type of issue. But it's almost literally the same thing and they're treated totally differently. So you have to have known the difference exactly like with an MRI or something of MS and NMO so you can be treated accordingly because the treatments are different. And so, yeah, it was a long journey to get diagnosed.
wow, that's amazing. And so how does this diagnosis affect you as a person? I know you said it's more of the eye functions, but I feel like in watching your journey, I feel like it's your lower body as well, your lower extremities. So can you tell us a little bit about how this diagnosis has affected you physically?
Yeah, so even before I was diagnosed in 2013, I was like already starting not to walk in heels, not understanding why. Even my walking was limping. It was just weird. And so as things progressively got worse, that's when things really intensified. It kind of calmed down with my second pregnancy. And literally 3 months post giving birth, everything just flared back up. And that's when the intensity of like, we need to find an answer as to what's going on, because I was literally falling down the stairs, like a flight of stairs, not because I missed a step, because my legs just was giving out on me. And I was just not like, it wasn't just normal. And I was like, I was having that. I was like having bladder issues. It was like insane. It was so much going on. So, the pregnancy thankfully was natural. Everything was perfect. Nobody had a clue. Nobody even like thought about, oh, she has an NMO or she has a MS or something along those lines, because I was walking. No, it was like my body like kind of fixed itself to have a baby.
Adjusted to pregnancy.
Yeah. And then after the pregnancy, literally my body was like, all right, F you, let's go. Bye.
Wow. Wow. The nature behind a pregnancy is just mind-boggling. Like the fact that you were having these symptoms prior to, during the pregnancy, you were completely like fine, symptom-free, and then afterwards it just went downhill.
And a lot of people who have MS or NMO, they say like when they're pregnant, they feel like at ease, calm, chilling. And it's crazy how nature works, because you feel normal. You feel normal. And as soon as you give birth, like 3 months later, wildfire.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. So does having NMO keep you from parenting your kids, like doing a normal day-to-day parenting while maybe your partner's out to work or running errands? Has that limited you at all?
I don't, everybody's parenting style is different. That's number one, right? Everybody has a different parenting style. You parent different than me, vice versa. So I don't feel like it's limit me. I feel like it has taken me away at times when I've had to go to like a hospital, or, you know, when I had my recent surgery in November, things like that. But I mean, it only makes them miss me more, right?
Yes. It gives you a break.
Not the break that I was looking for, but yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think it's limited me. I think if anything, it has made me just be creative in my ways of parenting and how to do things. I was parenting prior to, for example, prior to everything getting as bad as it was, as a normal Dominican upbringing. Like, I had a chancleta in my hand all the time.
Yes.
You know, I still got a loud ass voice.
Yes.
But now I'm parenting more towards like, all right, let's talk about it. I don't have the time to be like smacking you. I don't have the time for this. Like, I want to chill, because as soon as I start feeling like I'm getting riled up, like my body gets riled up too. And I'm like, I don't need that stress.
I was just going to ask, does the anxiety and stress make your symptoms worse?
Yeah, anxiety and stress. So I'm going to talk about it in two ways. Pre-operation, post-operation, because I had an operation in November.
What was the operation for?
It was to get a baclofen pump in me to help ease the spasticity, which is what was causing my walking and my fallings and everything like that. And it's basically to relax my legs and have them just be loose, because the thing is, I was always tense and hard. Like, it was almost like having a Charlie horse 24/7. That's the only way I know how to explain it. So I was walking like a penguin because I couldn't bend my knee, because I just didn't have that flexibility. And I had tried everything. So in November, I got the surgery to have a pump placed in me. And basically, it's shooting medicine in me 24/7 to constantly, so I don't have to constantly digest a pill, which I wasn't even, you know, taking well anyways. I was getting sick all the time. Yeah, so that was that. So I want to say operation, you know, my walking and my parenting is totally different from post-operation.
Wow. How? What's the difference between?
I have to be calm, because if not, I'm gonna get just as stiff. I have to be calm. I have to. If not, it's like I don't even have the medication in me. It's insane.
Wow.
Like today, okay, I'll be honest. Like today, I had a bad day with my 5-year-old with his remote learning. It was like, oh my God, it's too much. Lo solté en banda. I was like, bye, do your own work. If you do it, you do it. If you don't do it, I don't really care. Like, at this point, you don't need this class to get into college in 12 years.
I hear you. And they need breaks too during remote learning, you know? So if you're stressed out because of his remote learning, he's obviously stressed, and everybody just needs a break. So it's like,
I literally like closed the laptop. I was like, bye, see you after lunch.
logging off.
We don't have no internet.
Oh, okay. So I know you've talked a little bit about that, but how has your life changed since being diagnosed with NMO? Like, has there been any drastic changes in your life, or in the way you run your life and your parenting on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, of course there's been changes. There's been changes to my life, to my parenting, to my family, to every aspect that comes with me. There's been all types of changing, but pertaining particularly to the parenting part,
yes,
there's been more responsibility on my kids, so they have more chores.
Good.
They have more responsibilities around the house, because mommy can't get up and walk and do this, and my laundry's downstairs, so my 10-year-old's putting the laundry, he'll bring it up and we'll fold and things like that. Like, things that like a normal kid would be like, I'm not doing this. Like, my kids, they don't have a choice. They have to do it, or it's not, their clothes are always going to be dirty.
Yeah.
And post-operation, again, I'm not cooking as much because I'm weaker to the leg. Pre-operation, I was doing cooking. I was even driving. I haven't driven just because I'm still not feeling too safe to drive. So, and thankfully, it's not a thankfully, because COVID has been horrible on everybody, but like at the same time, it has calmed everything down. So I don't feel that pressure of like, oh, my kids want to be in an after school program, or they want to do this. Like, I don't feel that pressure of like, I got to sign them up for football, or I got to sign them up for something, because everything's kind of limited. So I'm like, oh, okay, we're fine for now.
And I'm sure you have a support system that when that time comes, you can rely on them to help transport to sports or whatnot. I mean, just
Yeah, no, I definitely
following you.
have. Yeah, I definitely have, like, you know, a very close knit support that has helped me even to drop off. I have some friends that just come and drop off food sometimes, because I'm like, I can't do it today. Or I just have friends sometimes who just come and help me clean my house on like what the kids can't do. You know what I'm saying? Because we all clean together. I also had to hire somebody to clean my house. But with the whole after school stuff, obviously because of Corona and everything, like there's not much going on. But if there were, I would have to like, okay, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? And, you know, I really have to let go of my anxiety and my own fear, which we were talking about earlier, of like having trust issue of these kids going out without us. And just got to be like, okay, you know how to behave. You don't know how to behave. You already know what's up when you come home.
Yes. And with that said, how has NMO kind of made you a more creative or supportive mom? I personally know because I checked in with you about you being in the hospital recently, and it was your son's birthday. And you said, Jen, I am not the happiest individual right now because you couldn't physically be with him. So how has your creativity and supportiveness changed with this diagnosis when it comes to parenting?
Again, COVID-19 has changed everybody's lives. And I love the way it's changed now, because everything is either curbside pickup, delivered to your house. Everything is like, you know, instantly to you. So I'm like, this is my perfect disability world can too, because before then you have to actually go get something, go get a cake, go get a balloon. Now they're like, deliver everything. They'll deliver the whole party to you. So literally I planned his birthday party from my hospital bed, and like Amazon's all the decoration. I was like, you guys are gonna do something for him, and I'll just FaceTime the whole way in. So it kind of made me feel present, but like still like, you know, I'm not there physically. And my mom and like my family and friends were definitely like very supportive and like made sure that they were present, because I was miserable that day. I'm like, how is it the child that I birthed and I can't be with him on his birthday?
I hear you. I can't imagine not being with one of my boys on their birthdays. So when you mentioned that to me, my heart broke in a million pieces, because I said I couldn't even imagine that.
It was hard. But I mean, he had his good birthday. And at the end of the day, like, although we want to be there, it's not like they pay attention to us.
Yes.
So he could like care less.
Even though mom's like, on FaceTime?
Yeah. I'm like, I just want to like be there. Yeah. He's like, Mom, you're not going to play with me. I'm like, you're right. I just want to look at you play.
Right. I just want to soak it all in. Like, that's what we do. We just enjoy like seeing them having fun.
Exactly. And then, you know, you have your little 5 o'clock margarita and be like, hey.
Yes, of course, because that's nice. I hope you had one at the hospital bed.
Yo, you don't even know.
A nice little margarita I had while watching him have
a cocktail of pills is what I was having. It's fine. No, I'm out of it and I'm doing good, so we're good.
That was so creative, though. Like, you ordered everything online, you gathered your troops, and you said, we're doing something. Me being in the hospital is not going to change the way we do things. That's amazing. Seriously. Kudos to you, because, listen, a lot of people that end up in the hospital, they don't have time to think about a birthday or celebrating or any of that. So,
and then it's like what I was saying, like the whole COVID thing has made everything so much easier. Like everything. I'm like, oh, I'll send you an edibles. I'll send you decorations. I'll send you this. I ordered the cake. I emailed what I wanted for the cake. Literally, I didn't have to step foot anywhere.
It's all over the phone and the computer.
Exactly.
That's perfect. That's amazing. So amazing. And how do you feel your boys have adjusted, like, or gotten used to you having an NMO diagnosis?
So I think it's been harder on the older one, because he's seen me be like the regular mom prior to his little brother being born. He's seen me like, oh, let's just pick up and go to Target, or let's just pick up and go anywhere. Like, I used to love doing those things with him, just to take him out and just to get out of the house. And the little one, once he was born, he like, you know, they're little, they don't remember, and he's always seen me be like, "Mommy needs help, mommy needs help."
Yes.
And he's kind of taken that to his advantage because he knows I can't run after him, so he'll grab like a bag of like Oreos and just run.
He knows he's
So
gonna get away with it.
I was like, "I'm not even gonna fight you. When you throw up later, we'll talk."
Yes.
So the little one honestly doesn't, he sees it as a normal thing. Like, he's like, "This is how you are." And he's like, when I have a wheelchair, he'll like, "I want to get on the wheelchair." Like, this is
It's
fun
all
for
he's
him.
ever known.
Exactly. It's all he's ever known. The older one, he was a little embarrassed at first. He was like, "Oh my God, mom." And I was like, "Listen, your mom is cute as hell. That's why they're staring. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not the first or the last, but you're pa joderlo a él so he can feel good, you know?"
Of course, of course. And let me tell you, you have some cool gadgets because your little walking bike, I'm like, I want one of those. Like, where do I order it?
Oh my God.
I don't
They're
know what
kind
it's
of
called.
cool.
You said the special
The
name, but
A-Linker.
Haylaker?
A-Linker bike and watch.
A-Linker.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
So
trying to look for cool stuff to use because I'm like, nobody must have been a boring wheelchair. I'm like, what have you seen a fabulous person in a boring I'm like, we gotta pimp this chair out.
no, and you did, and you sure did. So
Yeah.
you have an A-Linker, which is like, is it like an exercise bike or is it like to help you get around, like if you go to the mall?
Yeah, so the A-Linker was created, the initial person who created the A-Linker, they created because their mother had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And there's something about the psychology about not being at eye level with a person, even though like some people are short and tall, like it doesn't matter, but you're still not like at eye level. And so when you, and I can attest to this because when I've been in a wheelchair, I'm like this, like, "Oh my God, can you guys like come down to my level?"
Level,
So
yeah.
the A-Linker is kind of like a psychological mobility device thing, which is nice. You know, I was able to be at eye level with people. Also being able to kind of walk because it's not even a motor thing. It's like you have to walk. You have to do your exercise to move around. If you don't move, you're gonna get pushed. Como quien dice. Um, so it's more of a walking bike, and I got it because I was having problems with my lower extremities. And so I thought it was fun. I was like, "Oh my God, how cool would it be when my kids and we go out and everybody's like, oh, look at that bike," you know, which it has happened. Obviously with the snow and the winter, I haven't taken it out. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But like honestly, like I said, I haven't used it lately.
It looks like so much fun. And you're right. I mean, there's a saying that with like little ones, like toddlers, like I have a 2-year-old. And when
Cutie,
you're
a cutie.
oh, thank you. When you're disciplining your younger kids like that, they're young. I say younger because my two oldest boys are like at eye level with me. So when I'm talking with them, it's just like directly in their eye. But they
Yeah.
always say like when you're disciplining the younger ones to go eye level to them, right? Because when you're talking down to them, it does something to their psyche. Like it makes them feel
It's
less than,
true.
it makes them feel insecure. So it's so beneficial to always be at eye level with anyone, with adults. Like you just said it right now, where I'm in a wheelchair, I feel so weird. Like I want people at eye level.
Yeah. And then it's funny because it's not like I need a wheelchair per se. Like I need it for long distances. But if I'm around the house, I don't use it because it's not that I can walk around the house. It's just I'm walking like a turtle slow to get to my destination. And, you know, I'll use my cane or my walker, which I got to pimp out too. But
So cool.
but it's like I use it more like, for example, if I'm going on a trip and I, you know, those terminals are so long.
Yeah.
I can't walk that. If I walk that, I'll miss my flight by the time I get to the gate. So
So the wheelchair it is.
and then the little 5-year-old's like, "I want to hop on," and he's just like, "Woo!"
He thinks it's so much fun.
He really actually. In August of last year, we went on a little camping kind of cottage trip, and I rented an electric scooter because I knew that the stability of the actual ground with the rocks, it was gonna be unsafe. Girl, I couldn't get him off that. He's like, "Let's go," and just I had like a speed thing, and yeah, no, that was a mess.
You're the cool mom.
Apparently, I got the wheels.
You've got the cool wheels. That's so awesome though. Like you're making the best out of this situation and you're doing it so flawlessly and you can tell that you haven't missed a beat. Like the day that you were diagnosed up until today, like I haven't seen a difference in you, your smile, your
Oh, thank
parenting.
you.
Like it shows, like you just glow. You're an awesome mom. And I
Thank
feel like that goes a long way. And you don't, like, you didn't let a negative situation determine the rest of your life. You just made the best out of
No, I mean, yeah, you have your moments. Like, you're like, damn, like, if I could just walk to the Walgreens or, you know, get in the car and just get an ice cream cone with my kid. You have your moments. You definitely do. But then you see your kids and then you're like, why am I going to cry? Like, they're looking at me. Why am I going to be all Debbie Downer about this? Like, if they see that I can get on the chair and just wheel my butt somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? And have it be fun. Like, you can't. You truly live for your kids.
Yes, you do. You truly do. And you're teaching them something so valuable in life. You're teaching them how to be, how to overcome any hurdles or difficulties in their life and how to become determined young men to, that they
And compassionate, because
yeah,
so many people, so many grown adults don't have compassion, let
no,
alone, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my 10-year-old, I'm like, this kid is way too nice. And like, I just, whoever he ends up with, like, better be just as nice, because I'm gonna wheel right over them.
she's gonna come over in a wheelchair and set her straight.
Like, he just like, what do you need? You want
Oh.
some water? Like, I'm just like, you're so attentive. Like, stay like this for the rest of your life for me.
Teaching him compassion, empathy, all of it. And it's teaching them that no matter what happens in life, they could take the world on, because that's exactly what you're doing. You are taking the world on and you're doing it amazing.
Thank you.
So I guess my last question for you, just to be conscious of time, I want to stay under at a 30-minute time frame. And if you were to kind of give mommies out there with living with a disability 2 to 3 tips on how to go on with life, how to go on with parenting, how to maybe get out of that funk of like feeling down and the negativity that comes with being diagnosed, like what would you say to them?
I think the first and most important one is your mental health.
Okay.
I think you had talked about prior in another story, like when you're in an airplane and the mask comes down,
Yes.
you got to put your mask on first before you're helping others. And definitely, I think I struggled with that a lot because I was trying to put on everybody else's mask before mine. And so definitely putting your mask on first, you taking care of yourself, your mental, and anything that you need for yourself first. As a disabled mom, like, you need to take care of yourself first, because when you're not, like, when I'm not home, everybody feels it. Mom is not home. Aquí no hay mami sazón all over the place. You know, I'm not like
No hay vida.
Ariel.
No hay vida sin mami.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like you need to take care of your mental because it reflects on your children. The times that I've been down and out and I just been wanting to cry all day, and I have cried in front of them, so they understand that it's normal. And they need to know that this is, you know, just because you're an adult, you can't cry. No, it's normal to cry. It's normal to feel frustrated. And I use myself as an example, especially with my 5-year-old, because he's such an emotional ball. And I think the priority is take care of your mental first, because it is so easy to fall into a depression. And I'm very proud, and I'm not downing or any Debbie downing anything, but I'm very proud of the fact that I don't even take one depression pill. My drive, it comes from within. It doesn't come from like a medication helping me to be happy. No, it comes from me because I want to be happy for my children, and I want to be there, and I want to enjoy. And I'm the one that plans vacations and everything with that in mind. Like, oh, I'm gonna wheel to DR, or I'm gonna wheel to Florida. You know, I'm the one planning those things. You know, so I think take care of your mental health, and you know, that depression is so easy to slip into, and it's hard. It's hard to mentally stay focused on the positives while you have the disability.
But because you've been staying focused on the positive and on your mental health and self-care, you haven't gone into a depression because you that your priority and you've taken care of yourself. And
And
that's
it's not even like that I haven't. It's just that I think I've learned how to manage it, because you need to
yes.
give yourself that fun time. You need to give it to yourself, because if you don't give it to yourself, it's going to accumulate and it's going to explode. And then you're really going to be like, I'm depressed. or whatever. Like, you know, when you just have, like, you know, you just have a bad day.
Yeah.
All right. Recognize it. Own it. I'm having a bad day. Don't talk to me and bring me a coffee. And that's it.
Move
We're
past
fine.
it. Yes.
We don't have to offend anybody. We don't have to do anything of that nature, whatever. But another tip is, too, just, you know how, like, when you're in the gym and you're always prepping, or like you prep your shakes and all that stuff?
Yes.
Literally, prepping is the key to success in anything. Prepping your clothes, prepping your food, prepping your work, what you're gonna do the next day, who you're gonna call, what errands you gotta do. Prepping is like key too.
I tell you, I cannot stress that enough. You are hitting all the points I would hit if I was like being interviewed, because I'm telling you, I always stress mental health, self-care, and just prepping. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it's huge for me. Like on Sundays, because my weeks are so hectic, I meal prep for myself at least, because the kids, it's so easy to take out a frozen pizza and just put it in the oven for them. And meal prepping, even the night before, just picking out those outfits, it makes a world of difference.
And just knowing, like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to the gym, tomorrow I'm going to wear this. It's just prepping, and your mental health. I think it's the most important thing that anybody, okay, somebody with disability, but anybody can do for themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So definitely mental health, taking care of yourself and making sure that you're putting on that mask first, and then taking care of everyone else and everything else, and then always preparing, um, planning ahead, maybe scheduling things. Is there anything else you want moms on here today, and moms that'll be watching in the future, to know as a good takeaway?
Good takeaway is that when you're living with a disability, it's a constant reinvention of an adaptive lifestyle. And what I mean is, I didn't start with a wheelchair. I started with just limping by myself, moved to crutches, moved to this, moved to that, found the A-linker. So it's like a constant reinvention of how to live. So you're still present at the moment of those moments. For example, when you do want to take your kids to a game, or when you do want to take your kids to a movie or something like that. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about motherhood with disability, right? So you constantly have to reinvent your own ways to still be present and still be adaptive and open-minded, which comes with the whole mental health thing. You need to be open-minded to changes. You're not open-minded, then you're going to close off and you're going to get depressed, and then you're going to be like, I can't do this, or oh my God. And like, honestly, having a support system for that is, I can't even tell you how important it is.
I feel like a support system is everything. I've always said it takes a village to raise kids. Like, I
That's
do not know
truer than ever,
how I would
especially in
ever
this situation.
know. I mean, I'm doing it, and I don't consider myself to have a disability, and I cannot go a day without my support system. Like, the baby's with my mom right now. My mother-in-law, God bless her, she helped me raise my two oldest, you know, and my husband. Like, I don't have words to describe how appreciative I am to my support system, because I wouldn't have been able to do half of the things I do without them.
Yeah,
And I imagine.
and shout outs to those parents who do it by themselves. I
Absolutely.
can't even imagine a single parent doing it by themselves with a
With
disability.
disability. Amen to that.
Like, shout out. Y'all are real,
Yes, the real
MVPs.
MVPs. Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, and
I
there are a lot. And actually, with that being said, let's do some fun facts before we get this off. So in 35 states of the United States, 35, just
yeah.
because you have a disability, like your right, your parental rights can be taken away from you. So if you're like in a bitter situation with your partner, prepárate, como quien dice. And most, like 2 out of 3 cases get given to the parent that's able. For example, if me and my partner, whatever, for whatever reason, you know, we decided to split, at least here in Massachusetts, he doesn't get parental rights automatically, but like in the state like Florida, it's like an automatic thing. Like, you can't even fight it. You those parental rights are given out. And it's like, no, wait, I'm able to parent. I'm just not able to stand and run and walk, but I'm still able to parent. I have the mental capacity to do it. You know?
Yes.
So it's like parental, like parenting with a disability, it has its fine lines. And it sucks that it has to be, people want to talk about race and stuff, like disabled parents, like, there's a big disadvantage, unfortunately.
Talk about oppression, huh? Wow, I had no clue. So that's in 35 states in the United States. Like, simply because you have a disability, your parental rights can be taken away.
No argument, no ifs or
Stripped
buts,
parental rights.
no nothing.
Wow. I
And
know
I'm
for a
like,
fact that's not the case in Massachusetts,
no,
but
not in
oh my, I
Massachusetts,
couldn't imagine.
thankfully. And the only reason I know that is because I've been doing this blog and I've been working on it and I've just been doing my research and I'm like, oh my God. Like, can you imagine the parents that are like, who are fully mentally, capable of parenting, but just physically can't? And I mean, I get it. Like, you can't, if I was alone with my boys and I had to take them to the hospital, I would have to call somebody else because I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I kind of get it, but it's so messed up.
But
And
that's why you rely on your support system. Like, that's what support systems are for, right? Like, you
yeah.
call your mom, drive me to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You call a friend, get us some food.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's insane. There's so much more to that, but we need another life for that.
Oh, I could imagine. I could
So much more.
imagine. Wow. Kudos to all the moms out there and parents, period. Moms, dads, anyone just parenting with a disability. It is a handful to parent in its own, never mind having a disability and having to navigate systems, parenting, so many different things and learn new ways and
How to live and survive. Because I mean,
yeah.
the first question you think of when you get diagnosed with anything, my children. How am I going to take care of my children? Whether you get diagnosed with, unfortunately, a cancer, a simple diabetes, you know, and not even that simple. Like, I don't mean to minimize it like that, but like, even diabetes is considered a disability.
Right.
And
Right.
a lot of people have it. And it's like, the first thing you think of is my children. How am I going to take care of that? How am I going to survive? How am I going to make sure that they're good?
Yeah. Yeah. And working in the field that I've worked in, I've seen a lot of families who kind of struggle with disability going into a diabetic shock and kind of being discriminated against because there's questioning of, was that an overdose? Are you able to parent? Are you taking any and and like you said, there's so much more to just having a disability that we don't really see or even consider because we're not in your shoes. We're not in those individual shoes. And when you really hear it and you experience it, that's, really eye-opening. And
it's insane. And this just came on like nothing out of nowhere. Like, this can happen to anybody. You know
now,
what I'm saying?
is it hereditary? Like, is this something that has run in your family or?
No, I'm the first in my family to ever be diagnosed with something not hereditary. They don't know why it happens, and there's no cure as of right now.
As of right now, science is amazing, and I'm sure there'll be something eventually. Wow. Awesome.
I'm all here for it.
Yeah.
I'm like a science doll. I'm like, yeah, put whatever in me.
I'll be your dummy doll. Just do it all.
Exactly. I'm always that patient. I'm like, how much are you getting paid? For example, when this pump got put in, I'm like, so, well, how much are you getting paid for this? Are you going to give me 10% of that check? Like, what are we doing? Like, come on now. I know you.
There's got to be some humor in there, right?
Yeah. That was a mess.
So tell us about your blog for those that aren't following you right now. Like, tell us a little bit about your blog and how to find you on social media, because I really want people to follow your story and
get
educated.
Social media, fab_NMO.com, fabulously living with NMO, because there's no other way. And the only reason I say that is because my mom always like, antes muerta que sencilla. So I'm like, oh,
yes! I love that saying.
yeah, exactly. That's like literally my mom lives by that. She kind of engraved that in me.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you. So the blog, I kind of started after I was operating. And it was just a way, I was YouTubing before, but it's a lot of work to edit videos, and I'm like, I didn't go to school for this. Don't even know what to do. Like, I was just editing videos like a rookie, and I was like, I don't got time for this. So I'm like, how else can I put information out there for people living with an autoimmune disease like mine, or who have maybe symptoms like mine that might just be fine? They just can't walk more than 5 steps. And so then I was like, a blog, like an actual writing blog would be excellent. So I've started a blog. It's not published yet. I'm working on the final touches of it because I'm doing it English and Spanish because I have a whole bunch of Spanish followers who always like, who are probably going to be like, is your interview going to be in Spanish?
Oh.
That was what happened with my last one of my podcast interview. And so I'm doing the blog in English and Spanish. And it's just basically my life with NMO and things that I go through with NMO, including parenting, you know, self-care tips with NMO, how to preserve your energy with NMO, and just what to do. And, you know, things that I've done that have helped me, and including for the adults with NMO, even sex with NMO, like everything changes. Everything changes. And like, it's a taboo not to talk about those changes. And the majority of the community that I'm, you know, in, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, people who have NMO, everybody's like, oh, I have this, but what do I do? And it's like, no, what? Like, you can talk about it, and there's so much more ideas out there that you can do rather than a simple adding more medication, right?
Right.
So the blog is basically, I'm planning of publishing, I think today's by the mid-March. I don't want to give a date yet because I'm still working on these Spanish ones.
Okay.
And then from there, I'll be posting one blog a month because, again, this is something that I'm doing for fun. I'm not like doing this for anybody. It's something that I'm doing out of my own will, of my own heart, because I know the struggles that I've gone through. And it's something that, you know, I'm enjoying, actually. I'm really enjoying because I have the time now, right? And I'll be publishing once a month a new blog. That's adding to what I already have. And then at that same page, you know, I'm going to be including all the features, like interviews and everything that I've done, because it just seems that a lot of people want to know how you got diagnosed, but nobody's asking how are you living with it. And so that's what the blog is more about, of how am I living with it.
That's beautiful. And I'm sure that's going to take off like a rocket.
Well, honestly, like I said, this is just my for fun thing. My writing girl in it is like, if I was talking to my girls, like, I'm just like, hey girl, guess what? I twisted my ankle today. It's not even like anything.
People want reality. People don't want like sophisticated words that they have to look up on a dictionary. Like, they want you to be real. They want you to be you.
Exactly. Like,
genuine.
The blog is very like down to earth. I think I even swore in some of those blogs. So because it's just like, we're already been talked about with these medical terms at the office. Like, we don't need the more terminology talk outside the office.
Right. They're going to hear that at the doctor's office enough. They want to read something fun and educating at the same time. So I feel like you're the right person for that.
Thank you.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited. Hopefully middle of March. And this month is NMO Awareness Month too. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like this month is all types of them. Women's International Day was yesterday. Congrats.
Yes, it was.
Everybody, all the girls out there.
Cool ladies.
This month is autoimmune disease. So everybody kind of just sticks to their own autoimmune, which is mine is NMO, but, you know, MS or anything else. I feel like this month is kind of like the beginning mark of what the summer and the spring. So everybody just wants to go out and celebrate and be prideful of what they represent.
That's beautiful. And that's exactly what you're doing. Your social media like shows just that. I love the painting that you did with the kids to kind of bring awareness to NMO. That was beautiful, that live that you did.
Thank you.
That was all amazing. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like, I believe in God. I have faith in God. And I'm telling you, everything happens for a reason. And it happens to the right person at the right time. And I feel like maybe NMO has been a blessing for you because you're going to educate others. You're going to bring light to it. You are going to raise amazing men, right? That are compassionate, empathetic, loving, like all of it. Like,
do their house chores.
Yes, they're going to be a full package. Like, girls are going to be fighting for them.
Them future wives better be like, thank you.
Yeah, seriously. So I feel like you are you're doing great things and you're an angel in this world. So thank you for bringing awareness to NMO, for being an amazing mama, and for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And everyone else that joined us. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, thank you for having me. It's been, I literally, we need to talk about mommyhood, motherhood, mommies with disability, mommies who don't have it. Like, we need to talk about it all.
Yes, we do. And I'll keep doing these lives. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
everyone that joined us to hear in today. Adeli's hit a lot of great points. I'm going to be posting this on my timeline, and I'm also sending it over to Adeli to post herself. So go and follow her, fab_NMO. And what's the other one? Fabulously?
Fabulous. I'll post it on my Instagram.
Oh,
Fabulously living with NMO.
there you go. Fabulous Living with NMO. Go follow her. She's an amazing mommy of two. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Aldeli, thank you so much for your time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.